How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of Frankenstein. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. Well, we've warned you.
That was your warning. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast where we dissect the Universal Frankenstein films minute by minute. I'm Bill Evenson.
And I'm Thom Lang, and we are at minute 45 of 1931's Frankenstein. Henry and Elizabeth are having a nice little bucolic. Would that be the word?
Oh, I like it. I don't know if it's the word, but I like it.
It sounds good. A little moment beside the lake on the, I'm assuming this is the Frankenstein estate.
Yeah, I guess. It could be Busch Gardens.
It is.
Maybe they went to Busch Gardens. Who knows?
Took a little vacation.
Yep.
With their dogs. Mm-hmm. There's a slight continuity error with one of the dogs. Is in the wide shot that started in the previous minute. Mm-hmm. The dog on screen right is looking back at Elizabeth like she's going to give him a treat. He's very excited, and then when it cuts in to a more medium shot, he's asleep.
Okay.
So they drugged him or something.
Yep. Give him a treat with a pill in it.
Yep.
One of the things I was thinking is it's another thing. I mentioned it probably a year ago, 6 months ago. It's convenient to have. It's a convenient thing when you're writing a story to have characters who are wealthy, and that really works here. You just accept that Henry, who's been digging in the dirt the first time we see him, literally digging up graves, is now in this scenario, and it's clearly visually shows where he is now. He's like, who wouldn't? What would you rather be doing with your time?
Weigh the
yeah. They're doing all right. Henry and Elizabeth are doing all right. I mean,
and here again is indication that probably some time has passed.
Yeah. Well, that was actually what I was just going to say. Is he says, "My work, those horrible days and nights." You wouldn't say that if it was yesterday.
Right.
It sounds like it's been weeks.
Yeah.
Although I guess it probably hasn't been weeks. I don't know. We'll find out later.
There's some indications it's probably not weeks, but it could be several days anyway.
Yeah.
He looks much healthier. He doesn't have the dark circles under his eyes anymore.
I guess I don't have to wait to say this. There was a murder. Yeah. It happened last week, last minute, right? Yeah. So it's clear whatever time this is, he doesn't seem like he knows about it.
Right.
Okay.
No,
I guess that'll come up later.
It comes up.
And when you're talking about he looks better?
Looks better.
He's now wearing more makeup than May Clark.
Well, right, but he doesn't have the circles under his eyes. Yeah. Which was, if that was, they probably had to cover him up.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. This is actually Clive with makeup on. The other
versus
Clive was just how he looked.
Yeah, he showed up that morning.
How he looked that morning, yep.
His hair is combed.
Yeah.
It's not hanging in front of his face like it has been.
Yep.
So he's got a nice little scarf and
he's got the whole deal,
the whole rich guy look.
Yep, definitely. Yep. We've been waiting 45 weeks for Elizabeth to bring Henry home. Yeah. And it's a complete success. Yep. He's in heaven. Getting better than that.
Yeah.
And again, he's right. He's this looks a lot better.
Yeah, I think this is the better choice. Yeah.
It seems like he's come to his senses.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's that transformation is complete. We've been talking about it for weeks.
You see briefly though, and he starts to talk about it.
Yeah.
That he gets that glint in his eye just a little bit, and she is smart enough to
Yeah.
Eyes
promised,
here. Eyes here.
Yeah,
you promised you wouldn't talk about that.
You're not to think of such things, which is, I don't think that's healthy. That's probably not good. Denial is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I think
especially not in a relationship.
Right.
You can't say that someone's not allowed to think of something. Right. That seems bad.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not talk about that so much.
Let's not dwell on that.
Yeah, dwell.
Or let's work through that. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's supportive.
But I think she's on the right track, and she's very much.
Supportive,
and she's focusing his attention away from it. She does everything she can.
Yeah.
It points again that she's not the typical weak, weepy horror movie heroine that we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
She's not Helen Chandler.
Right.
Yeah. Thank God.
But she is also this. It's interesting you say that because she in this scene it has that sort of stereotypical.
Oh, it does have that. This is a very.
She's on her,
she's on her knees at his feet.
At his feet, lighting his cigarette.
You're right, but she's the one that is still steering the conversation away from Because he could, it's obvious he easily just
Could crack.
right back.
Those horrible days and nights.
I'm like, yeah, say,
Whatever happened to that monster?
A couple things I forgot about.
Yeah, wait a minute.
You know, if I had done this differently.
My records.
Yeah.
Have those been
preserved?
preserved correctly? I might want to just
pop
back
I'm
for.
gonna pop up there just to check and see how things are. I'm not gonna
bring anything to life.
I'm just looking. Just looking.
Relaxing, having a smoke.
Yep.
Getting back to good health.
Yes.
This is how healthy people relax with a
With
cigarette.
a cigarette and some tea.
Yep. This was the time that was probably still true.
Oh, I think it was true up until the 70s.
The 70s? I don't know. I think by the 50s people had it figured out, and it was
Oh
more
no,
of a
we showed some
concerted effort on the part of the. Really?
We showed some movies on Horror Incorporated from like the early 60s where they're in a hospital, finish
Yeah,
surgery, and light up in the room. So,
Yeah, but if Ed Wood did it, that doesn't mean that's what it was like.
Yeah, well.
Ed Wood's
Going
reality.
Going to like banks and the guys are sitting at their desk puffing away.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, people talk about that at my work now. That there used to be ashtrays at the desks.
Yeah.
That's true. But then there used to be a fridge full of beer too.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
who knows? It's very sort of stereotypical setup. He's in his bathrobe. She's in a sundress.
Sundress with a hat.
The whole thing, especially this minute, like if you just took this minute and showed it to somebody, it just seems like a completely different movie altogether.
It's very conventional.
Yeah, this isn't really like Frankenstein. It would be disappointing if it were longer than a minute, but it's about 30 seconds or whatever.
Just about,
40 maybe.
Yeah, it's long enough to get across the information. And it seems like
it really does seem like he's dipping his toe into another movie and saying,
well,
this is...
it's like it's a material that he's really not that interested in, but it has to be there.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's interesting.
Done,
yeah, that's
it's
probably
done
right.
better than I would say a similar scene would have been done in like Dracula.
Oh yeah.
Murders in the Rue Morgue.
White Zombie.
White Zombie. Yeah.
What's the other one? Is that the one where they're on the swing?
No, that's Murders in the Rue Morgue.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's done very cleanly, quickly.
Yeah, in and out.
We get the information we need.
Even in that moment, he still like dips his toe in the darkness. But, get back, come on back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Michelle takes his head and like turns to look at her again.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, she's I still think yes, she's in a very submissive pose at his feet, but she's still the stronger of the two at this point.
Yeah.
I think she is throughout the whole film.
So it's almost like he's up in the high chair and she's feeding him.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she lights a cigarette.
Yeah.
I would assume he's capable of doing that himself, but
yeah, that's true. It's a hard thing to even remember what life was like. Is lighting someone's cigarette? I guess that's a nice thing to do.
I guess so.
Don't know anymore.
Yeah. I'm gonna
don't remember.
This will kill you, but let me go ahead and do that for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Heaven was not so far away all the time. I'd like to see a map of this whole thing. I don't know. I don't know where
where the village is that they live in, which is never really named in this film.
Yeah.
And Goldstadt is somewhere a ways away.
Yep.
The Watchtower is somewhere further away than that.
On the outskirts of that.
Yeah. And then Heaven isn't too very far from that.
And then so there you go. Yeah. Where's Hell? I guess that would be down in the dungeon.
It's down now where Fritz was hung, yeah.
Yep. He was gone for 4 months.
At least.
This notion that she's not been that far away is an interesting one.
I think she means emotionally.
Yeah, that's
away.
probably
I don't think she means physically.
Okay. All right. Still in Europe.
Yeah.
Heaven is somewhere in Europe.
Still in Southern California.
Heaven is in Busch Gardens.
Yes. Yeah. I think she's speaking more metaphorically and emotionally. I've always been here for you.
That's true.
All you needed to do was just come back home.
Just maybe, or even just listen to me when I went up there.
Yeah.
Because he still didn't stop.
No.
After her first visit.
Right.
She had to go back again and bring Dad with.
Yeah, bring out the big guns.
And it worked, I guess.
It did, yeah.
Although I don't know. I don't know. He fell down and then.
Well, like I said, if he hadn't have fainted conveniently, how would that conversation have played out?
Yeah, Baron would have beat him with the stick.
Yes. You insubordinate son of a bitch.
Would have been that Wolfman situation where he beat him to death.
Yeah.
That is how that ends, right?
Yes, it is.
He beats his son to death
with a cane, yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
What do the Freudians out there have to say about that?
Jeez.
And in both films, the mother is completely absent.
Yeah, not even, don't even have any idea.
She's barely mentioned in this, and Larry Talbot's mother, I don't know if she's ever mentioned. I don't know the Wolfman that well.
Is she mentioned in this minute, or is it next minute?
Yeah, next minute, I think.
Okay.
Or
I
at the
can't
very
remember.
end of this minute.
It might be the very end of this
Yeah.
minute. We'll talk about it.
But it's the only mention at all.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
No, I don't. A lot of mention of the father and
Yeah,
the Baron
yeah.
when he's not even on screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's that taking the mother out of the equation yet again.
Right.
What Henry does with the creation,
Right.
it's sort of metaphorically done with the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because she is in the book, although she dies a pretty horrible death. Consumption, or I honestly don't remember. Now. It's been
Let's
a
just
while.
go with consumption.
That's
sounds
a generic term for
generic,
whatever.
everything.
Yeah.
It sounds like something ate you. Consumption.
Yeah.
Is that what that means? Something ate her?
I think it was just sort of, like I said, they didn't know what it was, so it was consumption.
Yeah, probably right.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, you don't hear it anymore. You don't see it in the obituaries anymore.
pages, yeah.
Passed away from consumption.
Well, now I know what I'm.
That's what we should say when we finally give up on this podcast. That it would say it was
consumption. Yes.
We succumbed to well, that's hard to say. Succumbed to consumption.
Consumption. Yes.
Look at that. Lips.
So
succumbed to
I'm going to have that put in my will. That's what I want in my obituary.
Yep, I'll write my own obituary.
Yeah.
Succumbed. That's it. That'll be on the gravestone.
Yeah, succumbed to consumption.
The hell are we talking about? I think it's funny when he says horrible days and nights.
And nights.
It's not really very good. I think it would work better if there was more of a pause between days and nights. Because I think what he's trying to do is emphasize nights. Right. So I think could be more dramatic even than that. But then I guess I'd probably be criticizing him then. I'd be like, you overdid it.
Yeah,
that could be.
Then he gets into Lugosi territory.
Yeah, those horrible days and
nights. What music they make.
Also, those horrible nights, he didn't think so. He thought they were pretty great then.
Yeah.
So it's good that that is just him coming to his senses.
Yeah.
It's not like it was horrible at the time.
No.
He was like, this is the greatest. I love it.
Like if Fritz had lived, they'd like meet up years later in a bar. Like, you remember that time when we brought that guy to life?
That was awesome.
That was amazing.
That was the best. What, are we going to do that again? Let's do that again.
I think we really should get the old, just get Waldman back.
Get the old gang back together.
Get the old gang back together. Literally.
Oh, that would be fun. See them getting back together years later. Yeah.
You just happen to bump into each other on the street.
I'm sure you know Waldman and Fritz are bumping into each other at the same social gatherings.
Yeah, they
dinner
traveled.
parties.
They knew each other, so they had to.
And then I like how soon I don't remember how she says it. How soon will we be married or whatever?
Yeah.
And he says, as soon as you like. Fade out, fade in, wedding.
Wedding.
Day.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, she pauses though.
Yeah. Okay.
She pauses. She's like, when shall the wedding be?
Yeah.
And
because he's the one that says, as
let's
soon as
make
you
it
like.
soon.
Oh, that's right.
She says, let's make it soon,
Yeah,
but she
she
thinks
does
about
pause.
it.
She
She thinks
does
about
pause.
it for a second.
Yeah, that's right. Like,
Yeah,
shoot.
we better make it soon.
Kind of hoping you weren't going to say anything.
Yeah.
Kind of hoping you forgot about all that.
Oh man.
Is that the time? Yeah, I gotta get.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I've got the laundry to do.
Gotta go check on, see if that monster's been dissected yet.
Somebody forgot about that.
Yeah.
I gotta get my hair did. Actually, she's done up.
She's always done up nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Does she have servants?
Well, I'm sure there's servants that do that.
Do all that work.
Yeah. Because
We'll
again,
talk about the servants
I believe she lives there.
Yeah. Right.
Because that's where she's visited by Victor early on.
There you go.
And I think she lives there. So yeah.
Yeah.
There's no mention of her parents whatsoever.
Or their. So here we
go.
go.
Even what her last name is.
We're segueing into the wedding.
Yes.
So we see people dressed up to go, so we could maybe pick them out one by one and go, I bet
that might be her dad.
That's her dad, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We got the orange blossoms.
Yes,
the
we fade
great
out.
tradition.
We fade out, fade in to the close-up of the orange blossoms.
Which everybody knows means you're getting married. That's what orange blossoms equals getting married.
Yes.
Did you have orange blossoms?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I had any orange blossoms. No, they didn't. They didn't have those ready.
Well, then again, I'm not a Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's
So-
true. It's a tradition amongst their
It's-
family.
yeah.
But it's only a tradition for 3 generations. This
Yeah,
is it's an interesting number. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's sort of a tradition. 3.
Yeah, 3.
Even 6 would be more impressive, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, because considering it's, I assume, a very old family.
Exactly. Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't.
So, and, you can start a new tradition.
Well, that's absolutely true. All right. What are orange blossoms? They're just the flowers that
Did
are
you
on
look it
orange
up or
trees?
no? I assume that's what they are. I didn't look
I didn't
it up.
look it up.
I didn't
If
really
I'm going to
care.
ask these questions, I should have the answer. You know what we should have? We should have Google.
We
when
should
we're
look,
doing
yes. Sitting right in front of
Might
a
well
laptop
cut that
here.
out. All right.
Well, and I think it's interesting that in the center of it is the little portrait.
Yes.
I assume of the Baron and his wife, the current.
Okay.
Because
You
it
do.
looks like a younger version of him.
Oh,
Because
really?
I paused it and looked at it. It's a painting. It's not a photograph.
Right.
But it looks like a younger version of him. It could be. I suppose it could be his great grandfather.
That would have been my thought.
Okay.
I don't know though. Like it could be either way. I don't know
Yeah.
how these traditions work.
I don't know.
The tradition of the
Yeah,
orange
I'm
blossoms.
I'm not a Frankenstein, so I don't
You
know.
know what I
how
do
they-
notice though, that they keep the orange blossoms in a brain jar. He lifts
Yes.
the brain jar
Yes,
up,
he does.
and then
Yeah.
then the gong. I presume the next minute we
the
start to the
gong is
gong.
going to go off. He'll drop the whole thing.
Wedding's off.
You start all over again. It's like the Planet of the Apes cycle. It just it circles
oh my
back
God,
on itself.
it's perfect.
Yes.
Well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's really about it.
Okay, good. We're talking over music at this point.
Yeah, I think we are. We'll talk right on into the Monster Kid Radio.
There you go. We're talking over that now.